Hello and happy New Comic Book Day to you. I am here in Midtown Comics Times Square. Of course, I am Henry, and like I said, it's New Comic Book Day. It's Wednesday. It's the greatest day of the week, and that's because there's tons of comics on this wall. We've got tons of people in the store that are very excited. We've got tons of stuff to tell you guys about, to be excited about. Like, for example, did you guys know that you can bring us your books this Saturday for our buying day? That's right, buying day. You bring your books, your toys, your collectibles, whatever you got, we will buy it from you and we will give you money on the spot. Pretty amazing, great deal in Midtown Comics Downtown this Saturday. And then next week, we have a signing with Lawrence Block and John K. Snyder III for 8 Million Ways to Die. That's right. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really cool, and it's going to be right here in Times Square. But for the time being, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this wall, and we're going to talk about all the books that are coming out this week. So to start us off, we've got some staff picks. We've got Jason going with the brand new issue of God Complex. A very cool book, very cool cover. Digging that from Top Cow. Then we have Tyler going the brand new issue of Brave and the Bold. Liam Sharp doing a great job on that. And Luke's going for that brand new issue of Deadly Class. I can't blame him. It looks great. I am a big fan of the series, and I cannot wait to see what they do when they bring it to TV. Then as we continue, we've got Taylor going with the brand new issue of Flavor, and Fabian going with Fence, because I know he's a big Fence fanatic. Very exciting stuff. Now we have the regular releases, and we start off with Black Hammer, Age of Doom. First off, loving this cover, loving this series. It's been a great time. Jeff Lemire and David Ormstorm doing a great job on it. Show off a couple different covers. It looks super cool. Then we're going to move on over, and we've got Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Reckoning. That's right. It's the latest book in the Season 12 series. That's right. It is a new season of Buffy, and we've got a lot of cool covers here. Show it off. Dark Horse always does such a great job with their Buffy books, and there is a third cover as well. Always very cool. This one's so nice and soft, with the giant axe and all that. That's nice. It's sweet. Now we are going to move on. We've got the brand new issue of Ether issue number 2. A couple different covers here. Matt Kent and David Rubin doing a great job on that. And then we have that brand new issue of Usagi Yojimbo, The Hidden, issue number 4 of 7. And as we continue, we've got part 2 of Witchfinder from the pages of Hellboy, Sir Edgar Gray. Some very cool stuff there. Now, as we move on, we've got the brand new issue of Aquaman leading the pack for DC, and we've got this very cool Joshua Middleton cover. We've already sold out of this online, so if you guys want it, you got to come get it in store. I think we've sold out of literally every single Joshua Middleton cover at this point. His covers just go in a second, and I got to tell you that this is gorgeous, and this book is fantastic. If you guys haven't been checking it out, it is one of my favorite books DC's putting out. Now, as we move on, we've got issue number 49 of Batman, and we've got the Bat and the Cat in this lovely cover by Art Germ, but we've got the Cat and Joker. That's right, facing off in the Best Man storyline, and this is your central conflict of the issue, and I'll tell you, it's pretty cool. You guys got to check it out. Mikkel Jennin and Tom King doing a great job. Now, as we move on, we've got the latest prelude to Batman's wedding. That's right, it's the Red Hood versus Anarchy. These are literally two guys I would never trust with anything ever. So the two of them facing off. It's kind of like, you're solving my problems for me because you're going to take each other out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a great read. If you haven't been checking out these prelude issues, they're a lot of fun. Now we move on. We've got Batman, Sins of the Father. Of course, Father Day was just a few days ago, but Batman is haunted by his father on a daily basis. Poor Brucey. He never really got to know little Thomas Wayne. I don't know why Thomas Wayne is little, but he didn't get to know him, and now he is being hunted down, and it's this crazy thing. You got to check it out. Spinning out of the video games. It's great. Then we have the brand new issue of Batwoman. A couple different covers here. We've got this lovely Dan Panosian cover, and then we also have the Michael Cho variant. It's Batwoman versus Batman, and I'll tell you, it is bat-tastic. I had to do it. But the book is really great. If you guys haven't been checking it out, Marguerite Bennett has done a great job with the series, and Fernando Blanco's art is gorgeous. Now we move on. We've got the brand new issue of Harley Quinn. We got a couple different covers here. We've got this lovely Bilquis Evely cover, which I quite enjoy. We also have this very fun, very, silly one from Frank Cho. Always a lot of fun on the Harley Quinn series. Then we move on. We've got the brand new issue of Batman Brave and the Bold with Wonder Woman. It's not Batman Brave and the Bold. That's a cartoon. This is Batman and Wonder Woman. That's right. They're teaming up. It's crazy. It's really rich in mythology. So if you guys want to check out a book that's unlike any Batman book you've probably ever read, I'll say that this is really great read, and it's rich in mythology, like I said. Then we have the brand new issue of Cave Carson has an interstellar eye from Young Animal. Some crazy stuff from John Rivera and Michael Avon Oeming. Then we have the brand new issue of New Challengers. And out of all the New Age of Heroes books, I got to tell you, this is the one that really caught me off guard, really surprised me because this book is playing for keeps. It's very cool. It's very fun. And if you guys haven't checked it out, the first issue was really great. Aaron Giuseppe, Scott Snyder, and Andy Kubert doing a great job on this reimagining of the Challengers of the Unknown. Then we have the brand new issue of Damage, issue number 6, and Swamp Thing against Damage. That is a fight that is going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to have all this wreckage all over the place. It's going to be great, and I can't wait to see what happens. Then we have the brand new issue of Deathbed from Joshua Williamson and Riley Rosmo. Very cool book coming from Vertigo. And we also have from the Hanna-Barbera imprint. DC's got all these imprints. I love all these imprints. We've got the brand new issue of Future Quest Presents with the Herculoids. Who doesn't love the Herculoids? Very cool stuff. And once again, this very nice minimal trade dress cover really shows off the art of Nicholas Scott. Gotta love it. Now, as we move on, we've got the brand new issue of Green Lanterns. It's part 2 of a little two-parter focusing on Jessica Cruz in the furthest reaches of space. That's right, it's Rebel Run. Very fun. Aaron Gillespie jumping in to write this two-parter, and I really enjoyed last issue. I thought it was really fun. Jessica is stranded out in space, and she doesn't have her ring. What is she going to do? Well, she's going to have a tough time facing off against Simon Baz. So it's really fun. I actually really liked last issue, so check it out. Then we have the brand new issue of Injustice 2, and the Injustice 2 comics are always crazy. It's such a great reimagining of the DC Universe, and it's got the Red Lanterns front and center. Any book that has Dexter on the cover makes me happy because he is a Red Lantern kitty, and that is the greatest thing. Almost as angry as my cat. Then we have the new issue of Justice League, issue number 2 from Scott Snyder, and now we have Jorge Jimenez on art. You can see his art wonderfully on that cover. We also have the Jim Lee cover showing off the new leader of the Justice League, the Martian Manhunter. This book has been awesome. It's been crazy, and this issue introduces a brand new Lantern Corps, and you have to read it. You have to find out what happens. It's great. It plays off of the established mythology so well. I loved it. Then we have the brand new issue of Man of Steel from Brian Michael Bendis and Kevin Maguire. A really cool issue if you want to just see a big old slugfest. And we're going to bring it on up, and we're going to talk about some of the trades that are out this week. We've got Hellboy Omnibus Volume 2, Strange Places from Mike Mignola with a wealth of great stories. We've also got Space Boy Volume 1. And then we have The Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia. This is gorgeous. This is just a nice edition. If you guys can see that nice little foil cover, really shows up nicely on the camera. The book is awesome because it's got everything you need to know about Zelda. Then we're going to move on. We've got the brand new volume of a classic book, Aquaman Tempest. This is the Tempest series from the 90s that I literally never thought would be collected. Phil Jimenez doing a wonderful job on the book. Check it out if you want to see what's going on with Garth. Then we have the second part of the Dark Prince Charming from Marini. It is an entirely original graphic novel. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I'm going to talk about it more in a few minutes. It's really cool. Then we have the new volume of Detective Comics, Volume 6, Fall of the Batman. And how far does this go? This goes, this is the depressing stuff. This is really good. This is actually probably my favorite stuff that James Tynion did with the series. Joe Bennett doing some great art on it. It is heartfelt. I really enjoyed it. It's great. It's got everything that's been building up since the beginning of the run. Then we have the Golden Age Omnibus of Batman. Very nice cover here from Doc Chenier. Some cool stuff if you want some classic Batman. And then we've got the Dark Knights Rising collection from Metal. And you can see that nice metallic sheen because, you know, it's a metal book. It's got to be metallic. And it's got all the different Batman that are actually horrible people. All the different Batman from the Dark Multiverse. Literally, if you just want to read 6 absolutely warped stories, here you go. All these warped stories. Yep, it's got the Batman Who Laughs, the Red Death, the Drowned, the Dawnbreaker, the Murder Machine, the Merciless, and the Devastator. 7 issues. Great stuff. Totally messed up. Then we bring it back down, and we've got that brand new issue of the Wildstorm closing things off for DC, and we've got Fairchild on the cover. I always loved Fairchild. She's my favorite member of Gen 13. And as we move on, we've got Archie's Super Teens versus the Crusaders. That's right. It's Archie's own heroes facing off against Archie's own heroes. It's classic characters. Some cool stuff here. A very fun adventure. Then we have the brand new issue of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We're going to show off a couple different covers here. I do like how nice Jason looks in his Zeo uniform there, but we've also got the main cover as we see all the different Rangers from all these different timelines being brought into one adventure. I love it. We've got the SPD Rangers, and I really like the SPD Rangers. I think they're totally underrated, so I'm happy to see them being brought in. Then we have Hollywood Goes Mad. It's issue number 2 of the new Mad magazine. It's $5.99 for a giant magazine. Who doesn't love it? Then we have the brand new issue of Rick and Morty presenting Chromopulus Michael. Some very cool stuff if you are a Rick and Morty fan, and how can you not be? Rick and Morty is fantastic. Then we've got the brand new issue of Tank Girl All-Stars, and I literally thought this was a Stranger Things book at first, and I think that's hilarious. Very fun stuff from Tank Girl. Always doing a great job of parodying everything in pop culture. Then we have the brand new issue of Ninjak, issue number 8 of the series, as well as the brand new issue of Shadowman from Valiant. 2 very cool books you guys should be checking out. And then we have a nice graphic novel here that I was just telling you guys about. We've got 8 Million Ways to Die from Lawrence Block and John K. Snyder III. Some really cool stuff here. It's a classic noir adventure, and you guys should check it out. It's a really nice book, a really nice edition. It's got that nice, I can't really knock because I only have the one hand, but it's got a nice little hardcover binding to it. It's great. It's very cool. You guys should check it out. Then as we move on, we hit IDW, and we've got the brand new issue of Delta 13, as well as Punk's Not Dead, which is one of my favorite books that IDW is putting out right now, issue number 5. It's a great book if you want to check out a weirdly supernatural series. Then we have the brand new issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universe, and the brand new issue of TMNT Urban Legends. Now, I say brand new issue. That's because it's a reprint of the original Urban Legends book. And if you have not read this book, it is crazy. You should check it out because it's literally got the turtles getting horribly, horribly devastated. And it's like, this is literally watching your childhood die. And it's really cool to do that every now and then. So I think you guys should try that. Just give it a shot. It might not be for everybody, but give it a shot. Then we have the brand new issue of The Beef, looking very beefy. As well as the new issue of Crude, Steve Orlando, Gary Brown, doing some cool stuff in that. And we also have the conclusion of the latest arc of Curse Words with issue number 15, Charles Soule and Ryan Brown, doing some cool stuff with Wizard. Gotta love it. Love this cover. Some cool stuff here. Then as we continue on, we've got the brand new issue of Days of Hate, issue number 6 out of 12. We are halfway through. And we also have the brand new issue of Deadly Class, which has a very cool cover. Really like what they did with this. So I love Wes Craig's art, so I like when he gets more experimental. And this book has just been completely mental, so it's been great. Then we have the brand new issue of Evolution. Some cool stuff going on there from James Asmus. And we have the second issue of Flavor. If you guys want to see a fun cooking book. Maybe you guys saw Incredibles 2 when you fell in love with the little animated short in front of the movie, all about cooking, all these crazy things. Check out Flavor if you like food and unconventional storytelling. Then we have the brand new issue of Gideon Falls, issue number 4, as well as God Complex, issue number 6 that I talked about before. Just look at how cool this cover is. You got to love what they're putting out at Top Cow. And we are going to bring it up, and we're going to talk about some of the graphic novels up here. We've got the Volume 6 of Justice League, The People versus the Justice League. Christopher Priest and Pete Wood's doing a great job of character-centric arc, which I think is really cool to have. Then we also have Mystic U, which I super enjoyed. I really adored Alyssa Whitney and Mike Norton and Jordi Belair doing a wonderful job telling a cool story. Then we have the brand new collection of Superman 0 Hour. I did not think I would see 0 Hour in print for a very long time, and so I'm very excited because this is cool and it's some classic 90s storytelling. Then we have the new volume of Trinity, Volume 2, Dead Space. Nice Francis Manapul cover there. And then we have A Strange, Beautiful Sound from Zepp. Very serene, very nice. Now, as we continue on, we've got Ghostbusters, Answer the Call, the graphic novel. Sorry about that. And we also have The Hard Place being collected as well. Now, this was a really cool series from Image I super enjoyed. Then we have Hit Girl in Columbia, which was an absolute delight. Mark Millar coming back to one of his prize characters. And then we have Ice Cream Man, which is just absolutely messed up. And I mean that as a wonderful compliment. It's great. It's terrifying. And if you want to just see people killed in ways that you would not think, Ice Cream Man, it's there for you. And then we've got Invincible Ultimate Collection Volume 12. And this is it. That's it. That is the last Invincible book. Well, okay, there's going to be a compendium in a few months. But this is the end of the series. This is the conclusion of Robert Kirkman's epic. It was just announced that they're going to be doing an animated series on Amazon. So if you guys want to know what's up before that comes out, check out the book. It's worth investing. I'm so happy this is the last hardcover I have to buy because I buy all the hardcovers of it. It's super cool, super nice, and you guys should check it out. And then we have Multiple Warheads. Nice little way, a cool indie book to close us off from Brandon Graham. Now we will bring it back down, and we have a brand new issue of Hit Girl from a new creative team, Jeff Lemire and Eduardo Risso, jumping in to tell a cool story. And what I like, you see that we've got that cover for Hit Girl. If you guys remember, last week we had a very cool cover for Kick-Ass that actually combines with it. So you can take that cover and this cover, and boom, you've got 2 books, 1 cover, and that is very cool and exciting. Then we have the brand new issue of Infidel as well, issue number 4 of the series. And then we have Moonshine, number 11. We've got Eduardo Risso twice this week. Very cool. As well as the brand new series, Shanghai Red. Joshua Hickson doing a great job with Chris Sebelba. Love Chris Sebelba. And then as we move on, we've got the brand new issue of Skyward, which I think has one of the coolest covers of the week because this is just very cool, innovative. And if you've been reading Skyward, of course, you know that it plays into the themes of gravity. Lee Garber doing a great job on the art on that book. And then we have the brand new issue of Wayward, which is coming to an end. A couple different covers here. Very nice stuff. Now we hit Marvel, and Marvel, of course, has a wealth of comics coming out this week. And the first thing that they've got going is they've got the True Believers of Ant-Man. So it's got the Astonishing Ant-Man and the Incredible Shrinking Doom, some cool stuff. And we've also got Scott Lang, the Astonishing Ant-Man. So this is great if you want Hank, you want Scott, you can have all your ants, your Ant-Men lined up. It's great. And then if you want a new adventure, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Issue number 2 is out this week. Issue number 1 was great. Javier Garrón does an amazing job with the art, and I really love this David Nakayama cover as well. But Mark Waid really does a great job adding a pathos to these characters. And also, I like that he doesn't write Scott too dumb. I feel like sometimes people write Scott real dumb. And like here, he's like, hey, man, I'm actually kind of competent, which is cool. Kind of competent. That should be what we all strive to be, right? Then we move on, and we've got the new issue of Avengers. First, we've got a reprinted edition of issue number 2, and then we have the brand new issue. We've got Loki, and he's manipulating all these energies, all these forces of the Avengers, and Paco Medina and Ed McGuinness handle the art here as we have a great story from Jason Aaron and a lot of fun. Then we have some more goodies from Mark Waid, including the final issue of his Captain America run. So I really appreciated that he kind of came back, and it's almost like he did a victory lap, you know? Mark Waid had this really huge run on Captain America in the 90s, and he came back just to be like, hey, I can still do this. I can still tell amazing stories. And I'll tell you that this story was really great, really enjoyed it. Leonardo Romero doing a great job on the art here. Check it out. I do enjoy this future of America that we have seen that's a little dystopian, a little not too great. So it's pretty cool. Then we have the brand new issue of Champions, and they are taking on Alpha Flight. And so that's great because we also get some classic Alpha Flight members we haven't seen in a while. Cool to see Snowbird on the cover there. Then we move on, and we have the brand new issue of Daredevil, which has one of the coolest covers of the week because the cover is a tattoo, and I think that's awesome. Very cool cover here from Brandon Peterson. Then we move on, and we've got that brand new issue of Doctor Strange. If you guys read issue number 1 of the new series, because this is issue number 2, so you should read issue number 1. Mark Waid and Jesus Saiz do a great job creating quite the conundrum for Stephen Strange. He's not looking too good. Things are getting a little crazy, and you guys should be checking out to see how crazy things will get. Then we have the brand new issue of Infinity Countdown Black Widow. This is a new miniseries that is spinning out of the current Infinity Countdown chaos. And then we also have Infinity Countdown Champions. So we've got an infinite amount of Infinity Countdown tie-ins. And they're all great, and they are self-contained, so you guys can check them out. And I do recommend it. Jerry Dugan and Nick Varela teaming up for the Black Widow one. And then we've got Jim Zub leading the pack on Infinity Countdown Champions, which is great because he's writing the main Champions book, so makes sense. Now, there's a big book here. But I want to talk about the books up top real quick before we linger on that. So first, we've got the Son of Hitler graphic novel, and it's great because they are literally strangling Hitler. And I know I would want to strangle Hitler. Who doesn't want to strangle people who put people in camps? Then we've got the brand new collection of the Champions. It's a classic Champions. It's the entire series, and that's always a great read if you want to go back and delve into the history of the characters. Then we have the Donny Cates Doctor Strange. You can see Loki. is the God of Magic. Some really great stuff here. I really love the series. Donna Cates and Gabriel Hernandez-Walter do a great job on it. Then we have the brand new volume of Amazing Spider-Man Worldwide, Volume 8. Some cool stuff there. And we also have the brand new volume of Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, My Best Friend Squirrel. I love the titles for these volumes. They just make me really happy. I think that's funny. Then we have the Venom Omnibus, and it's actually, if you guys look on the side, I think this is cute. It's called a Vemnibus because he's Venom. Ha! But this is really cool, really great because it's all the classic Venom adventures that you guys remember, and it's all in one spot, and it's all really nicely made because it's an omnibus, and Marvel's omnibuses are amazing. Then we have the brand new volume of Weapon X, and then we take a trip back as we have the Savage Origins of Wolverine explored. So very cool stuff here. Now, we're going to bring it down, and we're going to talk about one of the biggest books of the week, one of the books that I am most excited about, one of the books that we have to spread out real far to even try to get a look at. Tony Stark, Iron Man, issue number 1. And guys, what's your favorite armor? What armor do you like? Do you like the scuba armor? Because there's a cover for that. Are you a fan of Iron Man 2020? We got that. Did you like the Marvel Now design? Well, we got that. There's 20 different variant covers for this book. So if you got a favorite suit of armor, I can almost guarantee you that it has a cover this week, which is very cool. We've got a great story from Dan Slott and Valerio Schiti, really having a lot of fun. That's right, fun with Iron Man. And it's great. It's exploring some uncharted territory, and I think that it really is worth you guys checking out. It is one of my favorite books of the week. I'm going to talk about it more in a minute to gush about it. I really enjoyed it. Then we have the brand new issue of Runaways, issue number 10 from Rainbow Rowell and Chris Anka, as well as the brand new issue of Spider-Gwen. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, issue number 20, and one of the other huge books of the week, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 801, the final, that's right, the final issue of Dan Slott's historic run on the character. Dan Slott has written more Spider-Man than pretty much anybody ever. It is absolutely amazing. He's the longest run on the Amazing Spider-Man title. And this is it. This is the conclusion. And, of course, we have right here, and I'll show it off more in a minute, we've got the wraparound J. Scott Campbell Midtown Comics exclusive cover of the book. It's got the Black Cat. It looks fantastic. It's going to combine with an upcoming cover that we have. And it's really cool. And the only place you can get it is here with us. So exclusivity has its perks. Then we have the brand new issue of Ben Reilly, The Scarlet Spider, issue number 20 from Peter David and Will Sliney. And we also have Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man Annual. A couple different covers here. We've got this wonderful cover. We've got the Mike Allred cover, and that's because Mike Allred is doing the interior art as well as we see J. Jonah Jameson facing off against the Jonah Slayers, which is kind of cool because, of course, if you guys remember your continuity, like I'm sure all of you do, J. Jonah Jameson was married to a woman who created the original Spider Slayers. So way back in the continuity, this is kind of like a full circle thing, and I think that's great. Chip Zdarsky clearly knows what he's doing, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Then we have the brand new issue of Poe Dameron from the Star Wars line of comics, as well as a reprinted edition of Venom, which shows this very unique design that we're going to see. We have to find out more about what's going on in Venom. Then we have the brand new issue of Weapon H, and he's fighting Man-Thing, and who doesn't love giant muscle man with claws fighting giant muscle man with moss? I think it's great, and, you know, those who know fear shall know the touch of the Man-Thing, so I wonder what he has to be afraid of. Then we have the brand new issue of Claws of a Killer, which is one of the books for the Hunt for Wolverine, as well as the new issue of Cable, issue number 158, and I love this cover because it's got X-Force on it, and I love X-Force. I love the classic incarnation. Then we move on, and we've got one more doozy for you. We got the Wedding Special reprint, which is pretty cool, but we've got X-Men Gold number 30, and whoo-wee! If you guys saw what happened in this book, because the New York Times did run an article on what happens in this book, but I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't. Otherwise, this book is good. Like, this book is super cool, and you guys are going to want to check it out, and you guys are going to want to pick up that variant cover that is in that polybag, but don't look at the cover if you haven't read the book. It's a good read, though, so check it out. And yeah, that's the week. So there's a lot of stuff on that wall. It's crazy. I know. I am crazed by all of this, so I need a drink of water to calm down. And now, with my palate cleansed, my mind refreshed, I can dive in to some more of these books, talk about them a bit more. So, nice and quick. We've got the brand new issue of Aquaman, and if you guys have been reading Aquaman, you know it's been a lot of fun. It's been great. This Joshua Middleton cover is super awesome. We sold out of it online. You guys heard me say it before. It's a great read. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying the world building that Dan Abnett is doing with Aquaman, and not just Aquaman, but with everybody around him. I'm really excited to see what role Dolphin has to play in this, and it's great. Then we have that brand new issue of Batman, and Tom King writes a really compelling, kind of like a bottle episode, almost. Like, if you know what a bottle episode is in the world of TV, that's kind of what he does with his approach to this issue of Batman. And it's Catwoman and it's the Joker, and they're fighting and they're talking and there's all this crazy stuff. But what I love about it is that it's rich with really good dialogue, and I think it's really cool. It's a really great character issue when we know that next issue is going to be crazy, because next issue is issue number 50 and they're getting married. Not them. That'd be really crazy. No, Batman and Catwoman. Or maybe Batman and Joker. I don't know. You know, there's all these different things. We actually have a bunch of different exclusives for our Batman 50, so you guys are going to want to be here in 2 weeks for the 4th of July. Then we have the brand new issue of New Challengers, and Challengers of the Unknown has always been one of my favorite little properties in DC, and it hasn't always been explored, so I'm happy to see it back in the pages of its own book. It's been really cool. We got some great stuff last issue with Scott Snyder and Aaron Giuseppe did a great job with Andy Kubert creating a new narrative. And let me see if I can flip through without spoiling too much. I just want to show off that Kubert art, really. Boom, awesome. And yeah, that's right, Aquaman shows up. And you know what? Aquaman is awesome. What up? Great book. Then we have another awesome book this week. We've got the brand new issue of Justice League. And so Scott Snyder is wonderful. Because Scott Snyder is rebuilding the league and doing something crazed with it. And what I love about it is that this book has legs and stories that are coming down the pipeline, and it's all going to be really cool and really crazy. And it starts here. Jorge Jimenez does a great job with the art here. And I want to show you stuff, but I feel like if I show you stuff, it's going to spoil you. But I'll show you page 1, which is great because it's Lex Luthor visiting one of his dad's old groups of pals. And if you know anything about the relationship between Lex Luthor and his father, it's not super awesome. So he has a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and I'll tell you that this issue plays out wonderfully. It's really cool, does a great job of setting the stage for what's to come. I'm really enjoying it. Then we have the brand new issue of Man of Steel, and Kevin Maguire's on art, and that's all I need. Very cool stuff here. I'm going to just show you what Kevin Maguire art can do for you, because it is a great fight between Superman and Supergirl. And Ragal Thar, who is the new villain who has seemingly destroyed Krypton, and now he has come for the last Kryptonians in the universe. It's great. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying what Bendis is doing here, and I wasn't quite sure where the story was going to head, and I'm really curious to see where things go from here as the mystery between what happened with Lois and John is being slowly revealed. And then we hit some cool indies this week, and one of the things I have to talk about is the new issue of Hit Girl. And I love this Carl Kershaw cover because I think it's just very fun. It's playful. It's got a hockey stick, you know. Who doesn't like that? And we've got Eduardo Risso doing the art now with Jeff Lemire writing, and I think that's just great. I can't. Okay, so I can show you this one page, but I can't show you this other page. So let's just do this, and I'll show you that because that's okay. But if you can see what's under my hand, that's not okay. This book, very cool, violent. Keep it away from the kids. Just because it's got girl in the name doesn't mean it's appropriate for all ages. But I'll tell you that the book is great. Then we have a new book from Aftershock. We've got Lost City Explorers from Zach Kaplan, and this is really cool because it is basically an adventure series underneath New York City where they are exploring a whole world that has been unearthed. I think it's really great. I think it's really fun. Aftershock always has a lot of cool books going for them, and we've already sold out of it online, so you're actually only going to be able to get this book if you come into the stores. We sold out of both cover A and B online before it even hit the stores, so I think that's a pretty good sign of quality. You guys should check it out. It's really fun. Then we have the brand new issue of Shadow Man, and Shadow Man has been a delight. I've really enjoyed it. Watching the conflict between Shadow Man and Baron Samedi has been really cool, and I'm really curious to see where things go from here. Andy Diggle, and this issue we have not only Stephen Segovia, but we have Sean Martinborough doing the art which is great as we kind of explore the legacy of the character. Just show you some nice landscape art here. And one of the things I wanted to show you guys, too, is that this is, in my hands, the pre-order edition. So if you guys ever pick up the pre-order editions of Valiant books, right in the middle of the book, and I totally didn't realize this until I was reading a pre-order edition by accident, it's got, like, script pages, which I think is really cool. So it's got built-in bonus features at no additional cost. So it is really great if you guys want to check out some of the behind-the-scenes on the book. Check it out. Then we have the brand new issue of Skyward, and it is a world where there's no gravity. Simple pitch, simple premise, absolutely terrifying when you think about it. Because if you ever see like those videos, I saw this video the other day. I'm going to tell you this silly thing. I saw this video the other day of an astronaut in space trying to make a burrito. How do you make a burrito if there's no gravity? What a weird thought. That is their entire life. That is the entire pitch of this book. They can't make burritos. These poor people in Skyward, this terrifying world. And I had a burrito the other day, and it was wonderful. I want to have more. They can't have any. So you guys should check it out to see how they make their burritos. But you should also check it out because it's really fun and it's cool high-concept sci-fi. Then we have the brand new issue of WWE. And I'm a big wrestling fan, if you guys haven't been able to tell. I greatly enjoy all the hysterics of the wrestling world. But what I really love is that this issue is focusing on one of the most tumultuous relationships in all of wrestling, that between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Of course, they are the best frenemies I've ever seen because they've been tag team partners, they've hated one another, and this is focusing on the Hell in a Cell hijinks from a few months back, which I think is really great. The storyline is called Fight Forever, and it's focusing on their great relationship. But then this is just really good timing. There's a backup feature that is... it's about Rusev Day, and that makes me happy because I'm a big Rusev fan. So that's really cool. And, of course, Rusev is now the #1 contender, and it's on Rusev Day. So issue number 16, or 18, sorry. And now we move to Marvel. We've got some cool stuff. We've got the brand new issue of Avengers, and it's Loki manipulating all the Avengers into doing whatever he wants them to do. Not quite that straightforward, but more or less. You know, Loki has this... very troubled past with them, and I'll open it up to some great Paco Medina art. I really dig Paco Medina's art, and we get to see him drawing a killer Hulk and Ghost Rider conflict as they are facing off, and all these different characters are being brought together. Earth's mightiest heroes are assembling, and the adventure is outrageous. Then we have the brand new issue of Cable, and I've been really enjoying this latest run on Cable from Zach Thompson and Lonnie Nadler, doing a great job traveling through the history of the character. Cable's one of those characters that's got like this absolutely ridiculous continuity if you actually are a Cable fan, and I am a Cable fan, so God help me, I know a bunch of this continuity. So it's really fun to see it brought back to the forefront of the story, and we get to visit the classic X-Force days. And, I mean, how great is this? We actually get, you know, Shatterstar and Domino and all the original X-Force members, and one of my favorites. Where is he? There he is. Cannonball. I love Cannonball. Cannonball is great. Totally underrated character. Then we have one of the books that is absolutely incredible. We've got Tony Stark Iron Man issue #1, and I had to grab this cover because it's got my personal favorite armor that Iron Man ever wears, the modular armor from the 90s, which I think is just really cool armor and totally underrated. But this book, super cool. Dan Slott and Valeria Skidi tell a really fun story, and we are introduced to a bunch of new characters, which I think is really great. It's basically Stark Unlimited is this big, giant company, and it's got all these different people that work for it. We've got this wonderful new character, Dr. Shapiro, who's introduced that I think is just really cool, one of the breakout characters of the series. And I want to show you one of the sequences here as we have Fin Fang Foom. And Fin Fang Foom is, of course, a classic Iron Man villain from way back, so it's awesome seeing him brought back into this. Also, Fin Fang Foom is great because I love Fin Fang Foom. I also just like saying Fin Fang Foom. I think that's a fun name. But the best part... okay, totally a spoiler, but, like, guys, it's so much fun. I'm not going to say it because other people might be overhearing me. But look at this. It's cool. You can read it, right? It's really big letters. Read it. It's cool. Awesome. Check it out. Great book. Iron Man doing some crazy stuff. Dan Slott's going to have a lot of fun with this book, and I think it's going to be great. Plus, there are literally over 20 different covers. So whatever your favorite armor is, buy that one. Then one of the books, of course, I had to talk about this week is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 801, and I'm going to show you guys, because now I can show you the wonderful gatefold variant cover by J. Scott Campbell, and it is going to combine, that's right, it's going to combine with our Amazing Spider-Man #1 variant by J. Scott Campbell. So if you want to see your different books combining, well, that's how that happens. Now we have a great story here as we have Dan Slott closing off his historic Spider-Man run with the art of Marcos Martin, who is always amazing. And I don't want to flip through and show you too much, but I'll just show you this wonderful image of Spider-Man crashing through a window. And it's great. Marcos Martin is one of the greatest Spider-Man artists I've ever seen, so I'm really happy to see him back on the book, even for one last issue. I think it's a great read, and if you guys haven't been checking out Dan Slott's Spider-Man run, this is what he claims to be his favorite issue of his entire run. The man has written over 170 issues of Spider-Man, and this is his favorite. That's pretty cool, man. Way to go out on a high note. Then we have the brand new issue of X-Men Gold. Guys, this book is great. X-Men Gold, issue number 30, is my favorite issue of the entire X-Men Gold series since issue number 1 in the last year plus. It's been really cool, really telling a lot of great stories. But this issue, even if you haven't been reading the build-up, even if you haven't been reading what's going on with this wedding, if you're just a classic X-Men fan, maybe you're a lapsed fan, check this out. It is great. And so there's a polybag variant, and the polybag variant is great, and it's super cool. If you buy the polybag variant, try really hard not to look at the cover until you read this issue, because it's totally going to spoil everything for you. But I'll tell you that this is crazy as we see two of the longest-running X-Men finally married. It is really cool. It is not exactly what you expect, and I'm not going to tell you how everything unfolds, but I'll tell you that it's really wonderful to see these two classic X-Men finally wed. I think it's great. I think it's sweet. And it's leading into a brand new series that has previously been unannounced, but I'm not going to tell you just in case. But in the back of the book, it tells you where you can follow their adventures. So it's really great. And I also really dig these covers. I like this lovely little Phil Noto variant because it's got Colossus and Shadowcat lovingly reaching for one another. Of course, you know, he's all metaled up and she's phasing through him because they have to show their powers. But I'll tell you that the book is great and you should check it out. Then a couple graphic novels that are coming out this week that I'm going to give you guys real fast. We've got The Dark Prince Charming Part 2, which is an original graphic novel. It is $12.99, so it's not actually particularly expensive, and it's a nice hardcover book. I always want to knock on things, but you can't really hear it when I'm knocking. But if you were here, you should come here. If you were here, you could hear me knocking. But I'll tell you that if you were here, you would be picking up this book because this book is absolutely gorgeous. Marini is doing a great job on the art here, and I would love to see more stuff like this in the future because it's really artistically driven, and I think that's really cool and really unique. Plus, that's great. It's just cool. I like seeing alternate universe stories given kind of an alternate means of production. Then we've got Mystic U, which, speaking of books that were produced in an unconventional way, Mystic U was originally made as just like 3 double-sized issues, so it's combined into a graphic novel for the first time. Really great stuff. I really enjoyed it. We've got some great stuff. Mike Norton's art here is fantastic with Jordie Bellaire's colors. And Alyssa Whitney does a great job on the story. I think it's great. I think it's fun. It's just a really cool adventure, and as somebody who's not really into the magic stories, I really enjoyed this. It's like Harry Potter, but with like the DC heroes, so that's pretty cool. Then one book I've got to talk to you guys about is, of course, 8 Million Ways to Die from Lawrence Block and John K. Snyder III. And I think this is really cool because I like a lot of noir detective stories. I like a lot of dark and gritty. But only when it's like pulpy and it's like detective-y and stuff like that. So this is great. This is really fun. It's from IDW. It's great. It's awesome. And you guys should definitely be checking this out. And join us for our signing next week because we're going to have them both here, John K. Snyder and Lawrence Block. And it's going to be a great time here in Times Square next Thursday at 7. Do you know where you're going to be? Here. And then to close this off, we've got Doctor Strange, Volume 1 by Donny Cates. And Donny Cates writes a really good Doctor Strange. Surprise. It's great. It's really fun. Gabriel Hernandez-Walter does a great job on the art, and it's Loki in the title role, and I think that's cool, and it's different, and I like it, and I like the way that things played out. It's a really good run. I'm going to be picking up all the trades. And that's it. It's a wonderful week. There's a ton of books. Pick up Iron Man. Pick up Justice League. Pick up all these things. Do not flip to the end of X-Men Gold, okay? You're going to want to. Don't do it. It's awesome, and it plays out really well. And it's just a cool week in comics. So come by, say hi, and have a good one.